Even though there is so much at stake, Justice Scalia's Supreme Court seat looks to be vacant for quite a while. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell rushed to say that the decision should be left to the next president at least a year. But President Obama is vowing to move ahead. Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl.
The battle lines over Justice Scalia's replacement on the Supreme Court were drawn in no time. Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz tweeting this 5 minutes before the Supreme Court or Scalia's family confirmed he had died. Justice Scalia was an American hero. We owe it to him and the nation for the Senate to ensure that the next president names his replacement. Less than an hour later, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell declared this vacancy should not be filled until we have a new president. But President Obama, who praised Scalia as one of the most consequential thinkers ever to serve on the court, made it clear he is ready to fight over replacing him.
I plan to fulfill my constitutional responsibilities to nominate a successor in due time.
Election year Supreme Court confirmations are extremely rare. The last president to nominate and confirm a justice in an election year was FDR 76 years ago. But even then, his party controlled the Senate. Although Scalia became a hero to conservatives and a nemesis to liberals, his own confirmation was entirely uncontroversial. He was approved 98-0. Even Joe Biden voted to confirm him. The battle to replace him will play out in Congress and on the campaign trail. It's already happening.
We should not allow a lame duck president to essentially capture the Supreme Court in the waning months of his presidency.
It is outrageous that Republicans in the Senate and on the campaign trail have already pledged to block any replacement that President Obama nominates.
As for who President Obama will nominate, he will likely choose a candidate Republicans respect, such as Merrick Garland, the chief judge of the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, a moderate who has won praise from Republicans. Jane Kelly, confirmed unanimously by the Senate as a circuit court judge in 2013. And finally, Sri Srinivasan, who was confirmed as a circuit court judge 97-0 just 3 years ago and served in the administration of President George W. Bush. He would be the first Asian justice.
John Karl joins us now from the White House. Now, John, would it make a difference if President Obama were to nominate a judge who has already been confirmed by the Senate but to a lower court?
Well, Tom, it would certainly give the White House a talking point, but this is an entirely different situation. The bar for a Supreme Court nomination is much higher, especially this one, with Justice Scalia being a conservative icon and his replacement having the potential to switch the balance of power on this court from the conservatives to the liberals.
Jonathan Karl for us tonight. John, thanks so much. ABC's chief legal analyst Dan Abrams is here. And Dan, without Justice Scalia, you now essentially have 8 justices on that bench. What happens in a 4-4 tie on a decision?
Well, there would be a tie, and what that would mean is that the lower court decision, whatever they had decided, would stand. But it's not precedent, so it means that that case could end up coming before the Supreme Court again.
Now, Dan, Justice Scalia was a legal foe of abortion, and the court was about to hear a case that involved essentially shutting down abortion clinics. What happens now?
Well, this could be one of those 4-4 cases, because in this case, if they were to split, and this is a very divisive case, then the lower court opinion would stand. The lower court basically sided with the supporters of the law. That would mean that the clinics, many of them close, and this case could be in front of the Supreme Court again at a later date.